Happy Monday, Euro scholars. I hope you had a great long 3-day weekend. You got some rest. Hope you're geared up and ready to do some Henry V today. Remember, King Henry IV was the play we read, and that was Hal. But when he becomes king, he becomes Henry V. And what we're going to see here, this is one of the most famous speeches in all of Shakespeare. This is when Hal, who's become Henry V, has to lead the British against the French at the Battle of Agincourt. And I believe the French outnumber the British 10-1. The British have almost no chance. Some of their soldiers are barefoot. They don't have supplies. They really have no chance. And Henry has to rally the troops to fight against all odds. And he gives this speech. And this speech has been used throughout the years, even in World War II and beyond, to boost morale and rally the troops and raise up patriotism to inspire people. And so I was just reading it today and practicing it and got the chills. I think I get the chills every time I hear it, every time I read it. It is just powerful language. Now, we talked about those poems the other day, Rupert Brooke and Wilfred Owen. We talked, some of us, about how the first one seemed like propaganda and inspiring people, but then the second one was more about the realities of war. So think about, which one does this fit in? Is it just propaganda, or is there something more to this? Is there something more powerful and meaningful to this? Or is it just propaganda to rally the troops? So think about that as you're reading it. Listen to my reading. Read it yourself. Listen to Mr. Jones reading it. Now, Mr. Jones is a professional actor, and I'm sure he's going to have a better recording. And I'm just in my basement here. One take. That's all it is. So I practiced it once. Here we go. Reading it off the screen. It's going to be a little weird because I'm going to be looking at it. I don't know where my eyes are going to be going. So keep in mind, after you listen to this, and if you want to listen to Tom Hiddleston, he's the guy who did The Hollow Crown, the guy we watched in class. You can listen to him giving the speech. I would also suggest you listen to Kenneth Branagh. He's one of the greatest living actors who's done a lot of Shakespeare, and his movie of Henry V came out a while ago in the 90s, but it's still one of the best versions. Listen to those two, and then I've got some links to some other famous people, Sir Laurence Olivier and Richard Burton, some other famous actors. So listen to those. See which one you like the best. I'm going to have you vote for who delivers the best lines, who interprets it, and why. And if you want to skip the questions today, because I do want you to answer some questions, instead of answering the questions, you can record yourself reading the lines, and that will count as your assignment today. It doesn't take very long. Just record it on QuickTime, upload it to YouTube, send me the link. That'll count. Or just answer the questions as usual about this. So here goes. Mr. Gregory reading from Henry V, and this is the famous speech. Now, I should also say that St. Crispin's Day, that is a famous day, and that's when this battle is fought. So when they talk about St. Crispin's Day, this is the day it's fought, and people will remember this day because that's the day. It's sort of like a famous day, like 4th of July or something. Everybody would remember when it was. So that's what they're talking about. All right, here we go. It opens with Westmoreland as one of the advisors to Henry V, who says, I wish we had more people with us so that we would have an advantage. And this is his reply. Westmoreland. Oh, that we now had here but 1/10,000 of those men in England that do no work today. What's he that wishes so? My cousin, Westmoreland? No, my fair cousin. If we are marked to die, we are enough to do our country loss. And if to live, the fewer men, the greater share of honor. God's will, I pray thee, wish not one man more. By Jove, I am not covetous for gold, nor care I who doth feed upon my cost. It yearns me not if men my garments wear. Such outward things dwell not in my desires. But if it be a sin to covet honor, I am the most offending soul alive. No, faith, my cause, wish not a man from England. God's peace, I would not lose so great an honor as one man more, methinks, would share from me. For the best hope I have, oh, do not wish one more. Rather proclaim it, Westmoreland, through my host, that he which hath no stomach to this fight, let him depart. His passport shall be made, and crowns for convoy put into his purse. we would not die in that man's company, that fears his fellowship to die with us. This day is called the Feast of Crispian. He that outlives this day and comes safe home will stand a tiptoe when the day is named and rouse him at the name of Crispian. He that shall live this day and see old age will yearly on the vigil feast his neighbors and say, "Tomorrow is St. Crispian." Then will he strip his sleeve and show his scars and say, "These wounds I had on Crispin's day." Old men forget, yet all shall be forgot. But he'll remember with advantages what feats he did that day. Then shall all our names, familiar in his mouth as household words, Harry the King, Bedford and Exeter, Warwick and Talbot, Salisbury and Gloucester, be in their flowing cups freshly remembered. Their story shall the good man teach his son, and Crispin Crispian shall ne'er go by from this day to the ending of the world, but we in it shall be remembered, we few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother, be he ne'er so vile, this day shall gentle his condition. And gentlemen in England now abed shall think themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their manhoods cheap, whiles any speaks that fought with us upon St. Crispin's day. Now I have to say just a few things about that. I love the lines there about how, if you don't want to fight with us, I'll pay. He says, I'll pay for your way to go home. Everyone can leave. I don't want anybody staying here who doesn't want to be here. And he lets everyone leave that doesn't want to fight. But he says, whoever stays here, you are going to go down in history and you're going to be remembered. And anyone who's not here is going to regret that they were not a part of this. They're going to count themselves cheap, basically, that they were home safely in their beds while other people were out fighting against all odds. And they're going to regret it. But the ones that were here are going to have the scars. They're going to be able to show their grandkids, "Son, I got this scar. I was there. I was part of it." And it's a powerful piece. So I hope you listen to Mr. Jones, see how he does it. Listen to definitely Kenneth Branagh and Hiddleston. That would give you 4 at least. Listen to those 4 at least. Read it carefully. Practice reading it yourself. See if you can do better. Or answer the questions. Either way. Or both. But I look forward to discussing this with you, and have a great day. Take care.